Well, hello, friends. Murphy and I have another fun story to share with you today. And we also have a really helpful activity. It's a fun activity, but it's a very helpful activity for families. Now, the activity has something to do with Murphy's hat. And this is his pair of ducks hat. And so at the end of the story, we'll talk to you about that activity. But let me give Murphy some bacon because he's done a good job wearing his hat. And I'm going to also take it off that way. And hopefully he'll stay for the story. He's really interested. Today's story is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. And it's written by Judith Voist, and it's illustrated by Ray Cruz. Doing such a good job. Do you want another piece? All right. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running. And I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibbons let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be carsick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said that I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and Albert Moyo was his next best friend, and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone part and lands in Australia. There were two cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I'm going to Australia, I said. On my way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy. And then when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching him, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and for fighting. I was having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, I told everybody. No one even answered. So then, at the shoe store to buy some shoes, Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes. But then the shoe man said, "We're all sold out." It made me buy plain old white ones. But they can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with the copy machine. but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be, well, except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner. Ugh, I hate lima beans. There was kissing on TV. Yuck! I hate kissing. My bath was too hot, and I got soap in my eyes. My marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. Ugh! When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said that I could have. And then the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not me. Oh, it's been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says that some days are like that, even in Australia. That was a pretty bad day that he was having. Well, one of the helpful activities that my family does is we play a game called Yay Duck, Yuck Duck. Now, Murphy, he left. Let's see if he'll come back. Murphy, come on, bud. Murphy, there's bacon. That usually brings him back. Come on, Murph. Here he comes. There's some bacon. Do you want to wear your hat again? I don't know how long you'll keep it on. So anyways, the game that we play is Yay Duck, Yuck Duck. And usually after a vacation or a really hard day or even a good day, or even in the midst of this quarantine, we play the game Yay Duck, Yuck Duck. And really what Yay Duck, Yuck Duck does is it gives a voice to the things that are hard or the losses, and that would be Yuck Duck. And it also gives a voice to recognize the good things, the blessings that we have, and that would be Yay Duck. Now, if you have some little rubber duckies, there's a couple ways that you can do this as a family. You can see this duck is smiling, so that's our Yay Duck. And then this duck has fallen into the mud, so he's the Yuck Duck. And so what we do is we can pass around the Yay Duck and Yuck Duck, and then you can name what was good and then what was hard. Now, what happens if you don't have any little ducks? Well, you can also take a piece of paper and draw a picture of a duck. And here you see I've drawn Yuck Duck, and then I've made a list. In the midst of this quarantine and lockdown, there were a lot of Yuck Duck things. There are a lot of Yay Duck things. Some of the Yuck Ducks, some of the losses that I've had, I really miss being in community. I miss my church. I really miss going on long walks with my friends. So those would be the Yuck Duck things. And some of the Yay Ducks is I've learned how to cook some really yummy new desserts. My husband and I planted a garden, and those are all the Yay Ducks. Now Murphy, he wrote a Yay Duck, Yuck Duck list as well. He downloaded a picture of a Yay Duck and a Yuck Duck from the internet. He's a really smart dog. And so let's see, Murphy, let's look at your list. Yuck Duck. Oh, you got chased by a squirrel. That was pretty humiliating. Oh, someone stepped on your paw. I'm sorry. And then Yay Duck, playing with Juno. That's our other dog. And then bacon. Those are definitely. And then he has bacon and more bacon written on his Yay Duck list. So that's something that you can do, Yay Duck, Yuck Duck, and it really gives a voice to the things that are hard. And it helps us acknowledge where the losses have been, where the blessings have been. Well, it was good to see you, friends. And Murphy says goodbye. Let me see if he'll wear his pair of ducks hat. And he will. Good job, Murph. Bye, friends.